Hello ladies and gentlemen, Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Now it's that time again, it's ship review time. And the one we are looking at right now is, well, if it's not obvious already, it is the Fer-De-Lance. The second new ship that is to be introduced in 1.2. Now as we have a look around in this one, we can see that it is almost the complete polar opposite of the Vulture. Whereas the Vulture basically had all the grace and subtlety of an armoured car / tank, this ship is all about grace. Just look at those flowing lines, that sleek shape, all the chrome, the bold colours. Look at me sounding almost like a bloody... I sound like a fashion designer almost. But no, this, like I said, this ship is pretty much the polar opposite of the Vulture. And whereas the Vulture was a ship that looked big, but in fact was actually rather small, this ship itself is actually, the Fer-De-Lance is a bigger ship that looks smaller, because this ship does actually take a medium docking platform, and I was actually convinced before I actually got behind the stick of this ship that it was actually much smaller than that. But anyway, let's jump out of external view and let's go and have a look at the stats of this ship. Let's go over and find the actual ship itself. Where are we? Oh, wait, no, there we are. Missed you. Here we go. So, basically, Fer-De-Lance. Its top speed is not too shabby. It is 260 meters per second, which is 50 meters a second faster than the Vulture. So it is faster than the Vulture, and its top boost speed is roughly the same. But this is where the main difference actually comes and shows itself. It's in the manoeuvrability. Whereas the Vulture was basically a second only to the Eagle for manoeuvrability, this one is a lot closer to the Cobra, the Viper and the Asp for manoeuvrability. Shields, not bad at all. It's got a rating of 300 for its shields and a rating of 225 for its hull armour. So its hull armour is fairly nice, and the shields are also fairly good. Hardpoints, we have 6 utility mounts. That's 2 more than the Vulture. We also have 4 medium hardpoints, and we have 1 huge hardpoint. Now, this is a bit of a game changer, really, because this huge hardpoint was only really available on one other ship before 1.2, and that was on the Anaconda. And you'll see what I mean very soon, but that is a very dangerous hardpoint, and you'll see why in a moment. But let us jump out of the stats of this and we'll go into the outfitting department. Now, as we said before, we've got 1 huge hardpoint which sits right on the bottom of the ship. And we have 4 medium hardpoints. If we have a look in the livery section here, there we go. Ooh, there we are. 1 medium hardpoint is there, 1 here, and 1 on the opposite side to here. So let's go back, and then we have all the basically all the utility mounts. Next, let's have a look at the internal compartments. Basically, same as everything before, but then we get down to basically the optional racks. And we have 1 size 5, 1 size 4, sorry, 2 size 4s even, 1 size 2 and 1 size 1. Now, right now, as it comes as standard, the shield generator is actually being housed in one of the size 4 internal compartments. But what you can do is you can actually give yourself a size 5 shield, which will greatly improve the efficiency of your shields. It just really depends on what you want to use this ship as. I do get the feeling from looking at its weapon loadout and its internal compartments layout that this ship can be used more multi-purpose than anything else. I mean, as I said before, I do believe the Vulture is going to be more of a dedicated combat ship, but I do believe this ship is going to be more multi-purpose than anything else. I do believe you're going to be able to trade somewhat in this ship. Obviously, nowhere near to the degree that you will be able to in a Type 6, Type 7, or Type 9, or even a Python. But I can imagine that this is not going to be quite as expensive. But with that huge hard point, people are going to be hesitant to tangle with you, I reckon. Because, like I said, this ship can do very well in the combat role, whether that be in generally just piracy or actually bounty hunting, or even going into war zones. I do think this ship will be fairly good at everything. I don't believe the overall shield strength, though, is going to be as good as the proper dedicated combat ships, though. And, right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go have a look at the weapons that we can actually mount into this. So, as usual, I'm going to be putting it into Class Descending, and this is what I'm talking about. A Class 4 Plasma Accelerator. Now, this weapon is scary, and for the price tag of about nearly 14 million, yeah, you can imagine it should be. So let's mount that and see how this looks. Yeah, I think there is a bit of a problem with the timing issue with with everything else. But look at that. That is an absolutely scary looking gun. But yeah, as I was saying, I do think they've actually got the hatches. I think there's a bit of a bug with the way they open, because it happens a little bit too fast, in my opinion. But yeah, this gun itself is absolutely awe-inspiring. It is the largest weapon and the most devastating and destructive weapon in the game. It has the ability to one-shot quite a few smaller ships, so you do not want to be on the receiving end of this. Alright, well, let's have a look at the rest of these weapons. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be looking for... Where are we? Multi-cannon, multi-cannon. Have we got decent... There we go, multi-cannon. So get rid of the pea shooter, and we'll get a multi-cannon out. Now that looks much better. It looks a bit more manly. Right, let's find the next multi-cannon. Where are we? There we go. There it is. Don't accidentally buy fixed multi-cannons again. I am a little bit concerned about these, what look like capacitors or something, actually being mounted here. I'm thinking they really shouldn't be there, but oh well. Alright, well, next one, we are going to be getting some... what's on? Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Buy a couple of beam lasers. So there's one. And next one, beam laser number 2. Yeah, we're a little bit over, but that's well within limits. And there we go. Yep, I hear that I've got that exceeded. That's fine. I'm not going to be using the cargo. That's fine. So we can see here that we have both the beam lasers mounted on the sides, and we have the multi-cannons here. Now, the reason I've done it around this way is because I want to keep the multi-cannons being able to fire as much as possible, and the beam lasers are really only there just to take shields down. So what we're going to do now is we're basically going to go have a look out and about and see what we can find with this ship. But first of all, let's have a look at the cockpit view. So, looking around, this is a very polished cockpit. If we look up, we have a big glass canopy. So it gives us a big unobstructed view. So you can, I imagine, use this ship for exploration as well, not just combat or trading. It's a multi-crew ship, so there is another seat over there for perhaps a navigation officer or even a weapon system officer, I'm not sure. But it's definitely very well polished, and it smacks more of quality than the previous ones. It even looks possibly like they've covered the surfaces in leather down here, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Okay, and let's take a quick look at basically what we can expect to pay for the upgrades for this ship. So here we are, military grade composites. Holy Christ. Nearly 100 million credits. Yeah, this is certainly not going to be a cheap ship. For the power plant, let's get this to class descending. Oh, no. Yeah, that was it. No, that was it. Module type. That's what I like to look for. Power plant. Let's find out. A5, 5.1. Yeah, that sounds about right. The class 5 best ones are generally around about 5.1 million. Thrusters. Price descending. There we go. 5.1 million again. Frame shift drive. Let's have a look. So the best one here is going to be A4. So which is 1.6 million. Life support, not going to worry about. Power distributor. A6. Wow. Okay, so that's going to be 3.4 million. Well, 3.5 as near as makes a difference. And that's really it. But let's have a look at the shield generator. Because it's on the class 4 at the moment. And where are we? So I want type. Module type. Shield generators, here we go. Where are we? There we go, A4, 1.6 million. But if we'll go to put it in this one, we would go all the way down. Oh, sorry, where are we? Here we go. A5, again, 5.1 million. So basically, depending on how you want to outfit this, it's going to either cost you more or less depending on what shields you want. Alrighty, well, let's have a look at the acceleration of this ship. Now, it accelerates fairly quickly for a ship of its size. Now, let's see how it decelerates. Little slower, but it's still not terrible. But I do love the sound of this engine at the moment. So let's boost up. So boosting, it gets to its top speed really quickly. So that's good. Now let's have a look at its boosting turn. It's not amazing. So yeah, I can see where the low maneuverability comes in with this machine. But anyway, let's have a look at some combat.
Scan detected.
Got a nice little eagle here, but I think I'm going to ignore him for now. As we have got a pair of Cobras around as well. We're going to try and hit the damn thing with the plasma accelerator. But as we all know, my ability to aim is legendarily bad. So let's have a look. Let's try and hit this eagle again. He runs straight across my field of vision, and I can't even hit him. So the hell with it, let's give him the beam lasers.
Warning, temperature critical.
Yeah, that's one thing about this huge plasma accelerator, is it heats up stupidly fast. And you can see that I'm being easily outturned by this eagle, but that's not really a surprise at all. So I have to, in order to get him back into vision, I have to whack it into reverse. And basically just kite him backwards. Try and hit him again, it's not working. You can see there, I've just lost one ring of my shield. And even though it looked like I was definitely going to hit him there with that plasma shell, it went nowhere near him. The plasma accelerator is really only good if you are aiming at larger ships. See that was almost perfectly aimed, yet it barely even it just whizzes by. So I'll try and close the distance, try again, and yet again I missed him. The maneuverability of this ship goes around really badly when you're slowing down. So just tag him a bit more with some more beam laser fire, and we'll just try and get him back into view again. And you can see you can tell that I'm really not very good at aiming fixed weapons. But keeping him in view isn't that difficult, but he's not actually turning around and trying to fight us all the time. In fact, I'm taking this advantage just to try and clip him with the plasma accelerator. And the guy was dumb enough to actually fly right into me. But if I remember rightly, I do actually manage to hit him with the plasma accelerator pretty soon. No, not that one. Come on, where is it? I'm pretty sure I hit this guy with the plasma accelerator. So it looks like I'm going to have to whack it into reverse again to be able to get this guy back into view again. We fire. No, we miss. Come on. Do we get him? Yes, we hit him for the last 1% because that really mattered. But there is one more. So we're going to go after him. We've got another Cobra, and there he is. Hello, Mr. Bob Andrews. Say cheese. Let's try and get this tub swung around. Come on. Come on. There we go. Do we get him? No, we don't. He changes direction right at the last second. Let's try again. We're going to have to close in the distance a little bit, I think. Come on, do we get him? No. So we'll get a bit closer and we'll see how well we do from a bit closer on. There we go, we tagged him. That took him down 64% from full hull integrity. So that was great. We actually managed to hit somebody for a decent amount with a plasma accelerator. And like I said, it is a terrifying gun if you can hit with it. The problem is, it's a fixed weapon, and it doesn't exactly go. It's not exactly a fast-firing projectile. Come on, where are you? Oh well. Well, at least we managed to hit him. And yeah. Well, I'm not a big fan of this ship in combat myself. I much prefer much more maneuverable ships. But let's see how easily this thing is to dock. I'm going to bring it in slowly. There we go.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Okay, so first impressions. What do I think of this ship? I think it has a lot of potential. Does this ship? Basically, I've not played it enough to know more about it, but it is very it is very capable in combat. The main issue I found with it is being able to keep my weapons pointed at my targets. It wasn't very hard. It's just a little bit more difficult than I'm used to in the ships that I'm used to flying. But that does not by any stretch of the imagination make this a bad ship. This is actually a very good ship. I mean, especially you saw in the combat, basically the little bit of combat that I did. I took that Cobra down from full hull to 30-something hull health with just one shot from the plasma accelerator. Now that gun is absolutely lethal. The only problem I found with this is, as you saw, is struggling to hit smaller moving, fast-moving targets. It is going to be amazing versus anacondas and possibly pythons and so on, bigger ships that don't move so fast. And the fact that it has 4 medium hard points as well, it makes it so it can basically have more firepower than my Asp right now, I think, if I've done the math correctly. But this seems like a very versatile ship where you can do a lot that you want with it. And I see no real downside to it apart from the fact it's just not as manoeuvrable as I'd like it to be. But other than that, I do think it's a very nice ship. But anyway, I really hope you guys have found this this video enjoyable, and I hope it's actually proved useful to you. And if so, please do consider hitting that like button, because it really does help this channel out. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get notifications from whenever I release new videos. And anyway, Commanders, remember, keep flying and stay shiny.